The Chinese Communist Party's blockade of the internet is nothing new to the international community. People in mainland China don't have the freedom to browse global websites. Foreign press reports have often called China's massive network blockade the Great Firewall, as China's Great Wall is world famous. The firewall, in terms of scale, capital investment, technological advancement, and its complexity, tightness, and audacity, is one of a kind in the world. Not only that, China's official media, CCTV, recently reported on September 7th that the Ministry of Education of Communist China released a white paper on the practical ability of cybersecurity talents. It mentioned that there was a huge shortage of cybersecurity personnel in China, which will reach 3.27 million by 2027. According to external analysis, the CCP intends to build a cyber army with obvious political and military goals. That is, to maintain internal stability and engage in external cyber warfare. This is really scary. The total number of the CCP's military includes the so-called People's Liberation Army, the Navy, the Army, and the Air Force, plus the Rocket Force, plus the Armed Police Force, probably close to 3 million people. If he says that there is a shortage of more than 3 million cyberspace security personnel, then this number indicates it's a cyber army that has the strength for cyber warfare. This is also the result of the CCP's own serious lack of security and the sense of crisis that the regime is in a precarious state. With so many gaps in its political cybersecurity, the country's finances have to be used to support such a large number of people, which will take another chunk of the people's blood and sweat away. The white paper emphasizes for the first time that the hiring department is most concerned about network security combat when recruiting, and summarizes the combat capabilities of network security personnel into 4 types: offensive and defensive combat capabilities, vulnerability mining capabilities, engineering development capabilities, and combat effectiveness evaluation capabilities. Mr. Zhang analyzed that the so-called cybersecurity combat involves 3 parts: the government, commercial, and civilian. The first is for official use, which serves the official government and ensures political cybersecurity. On the one hand, it steals various technologies and secrets overseas. On the other hand, it considers the West a hostile force it needs to attack from the outside. In addition, the cybersecurity technology allows the Wu Mao cyber army to infiltrate and whitewash overseas with more ease. Wu Mao are internet commentators hired by the CCP. The second is purely commercial use, including various businesses, corporations, private enterprises, and sole proprietorships. Such commercial cyberspace needs to be controlled and monitored via the network. The third part is the civilian network. The CCP's internal totalitarian rule has caused its lack of security and a sense of precarious crisis. It relies on lies to maintain its regime and needs to effectively control the information Chinese people can access. Having government as the single source of information is what's needed for a totalitarian state to monopolize information, cover up the truth, and propagandize the brainwashing policy to fool its people. A well-known American think tank, CSET, a subsidiary of Georgetown University, released a report in July 2021. It pointed out that cyber operations were regarded by the CCP as a possible killer weapon, and that disrupting the communication of enemy systems was the key to gaining an advantage in war. A workforce capable of significant innovation is critical to implementing military strategy. At present, the situation in the Taiwan Strait is tense. Taiwan's Ministry of National Defense confirmed on August 8th that in addition to military exercises to encircle Taiwan, the CCP has also used cyber attacks to stir up Taiwan people's public sentiment via threats and interfere with government operations. A former associate professor at Capital Normal University in China also said that the CCP needed a large number of cybersecurity personnel to launch cyber warfare around the world, while it also needed a cyber army to control the people internally. Official data shows that the number of Chinese with online access has risen to 1.05 billion, and the internet penetration rate has reached 74.4% in China. The CCP has been using the internet to steal intelligence from other countries, including launching attacks. The so-called unrestricted warfare includes the cyber warfare, which also requires a large number of personnel. Internally, the CCP needs to monitor its people, and now it feels that monitoring may not be enough, because the number of internet users in China is very large. The CCP doesn't allow you to spread the truth, but it can't keep everyone off the internet. How does it control these situations? Then it needs a large number of personnel, and these personnel need a certain amount of skills. According to public information, in 2019, there were 100,000 employees in Chinese cybersecurity enterprises. 20 years ago, the CCP established its first internet police force, which had 300,000 people at the time. After that, the authorities set up special teams such as online public opinion observers, commentators, inspectors, and online inspectors for major accidents. The scale of various online task forces continues to expand.